Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Eddie, and if you came here from my TikTok, thanks for joining me over here on YouTube. If you're new to me, I'm a licensed professional counselor. I've been working in the community with children and families for about 12 years, and I have no regrets. Now, I got a lot of crazy situations, but I ain't got no regrets. In that time, I've learned a lot, and I feel like I have a digestible way of addressing helping parents understand their children from a developmental perspective. Now, I ain't got kids myself, and that's on purpose. But the primary mode of me doing that has been building a relationship with the individual parents that I work with, as well as the children, and learning what would benefit them in their specific circumstances. In that way, doing this online gonna be a little different because I end up in your house and your business like I used to be with the families I worked with. So in that case, in order to help you specifically, if you were to need help, I'll need to know much more about your specific situation. And I'm more than open to responding to emails, requests in the comments, and consultations. We'll set up how to do that later. What I've been doing online, specifically on TikTok, is growing my platform to primarily help people identify the childhood experiences that helped create the individuals that they have become. And sometimes that's as deep as trauma, but sometimes it's just general misunderstandings that we have from our childhoods. And among other things, though, parenting is a very big part of that experience that we had as children. So let's do it. Thought exercise break, okay? Think about your parents right now. Is it a positive thought? Is it a negative thought? Or is it neutral? Is there some conversation that you hope to have with your parents that you haven't? Is there some accountability that you need them to take? Maybe it's about the relationship you desire to have with them. What about if they called you right now? Would you be happy to answer your phone? Hey, mama, what's up? Hey, pops, what you got going on? Would you answer it begrudgingly? Hey, mama, what you need? Or would you not answer it at all? Or would you wonder why they even calling you in the first place? From whatever that thought was, and from my perspective, it's important to focus on several things, okay? The first thing that we need to focus on is the experience that we had with our parents or our guardians, whoever was the caretaker for us when we were growing up. Every single bit of what we are comprised of is rooted in the experience that we had with the people that raised us. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, at this point of the video, don't go getting in your head about those past experiences that might have you slightly triggered from that exercise. Let's bring it back. There's plenty of time for you to be triggered in some of these future videos. But right now, we just got the intro going on, okay? In that way, it's important to know that some of us had good experiences and some of us had bad ones. But good experiences don't mean that we are close with our parents, and bad experiences doesn't mean that we shun or condemn them. What it does mean is that we need to calculate the experience that we had in order to eliminate what we don't need and explore what we can use in our future healing and parenting. That is the first thing, making sure we can reflect on the experience that we had, okay? The second thing is understanding that if you are or are hoping to become a parent without doing work, you risk exposing your child to the same or similar experiences that your parents put you through. Not that it'll be intentional though. So I don't want you to get like in your head and get sad or let it guilt you. It very well just may be your subconscious applying your experience as the default and reverting back to that default when you have similar experiences with your child. Also, it's important to know that not doing what was done to you isn't fully enough. Sometimes running in the opposite direction of your trauma creates trauma itself. And even if you're not running full speed in the direction of that trauma, doing what shouldn't have been done to you at even a 10% rate may still be too much for your child. understand that you will have to dismantle everything that you experienced. You can't keep none of that shit, okay? You got to let it all go. Because even what you perceived as good could have been forged in the fire of a toxic experience, meaning that the good is tainted. The good is problematic. And hence, the tainted version of good that you have, you got to let it go. The final thing is understanding that you will always have to work hard at managing your own individual experience with your trauma. The healing journey that you're on for yourself, your children, and possibly one to rebuild or redefine a relationship with your parents is just that. It's a journey. It's an ongoing process that will likely last for the duration of your life. So at this point, we're not focusing on the destination. We're focusing on the journey and beginning it if you haven't. The goal isn't to try to eliminate your trauma in one fell swoop. The objective is to handle it bit by bit until you know it so deeply, and you know so deeply how to manage it that it just purely isn't even a threat. The trauma that we experience will always be a monster confined in the realm of our minds. It does not go away. But what happens is that we become better at taming the beast, which is definitely possible. This is a good place to add in a reference to Naruto and the Nine Tails. So, no spoilers, but if you know, you know. Ask your kids about it. They probably know what we're talking about. That being said, there's a lot of conversation to be had. A lot of conversations to be had. Another important part of this channel when you come here is that, as you can see, I'm an African-American male. The lens through which I've personally experienced parenting has been through the lens of blackness. And again, not as a parent, not that on purpose, but as the parented, as somebody who was a child to black parents. And parenting has a lot of overlap between cultures. But make no mistake, the range that the differences have can be very significant. Not to mention the experience that I had with the county that I worked in Alabama. It was mostly rural and white, so I don't have a lack of experience with any communities. I think it's important to have conversations about this because I won't be straying away from any topics that are culture related, controversial, or otherwise just uncomfortable to talk about. And basically anything that a child can struggle with needing to know how to navigate will be on the table in these conversations. As a parent, you do not have the luxury of limiting what you can be helping your child understand in the 18 years that you have to do it. Because 18 years ain't that long, and you'll start seeing that soon. So don't be afraid to ask me questions. And from this, here is a list of topics that I've focused on with the families I've worked with and engaged with. But what I want you to do is to highlight anything that you think is significant, something that you like to focus on, something that represents your experience, and put that in the back of your mind to comment on later, to ask a question about, to have a dialogue about, to request videos regarding. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But I appreciate you for joining me. I appreciate you for hopping in this video, and I'm ready to start having these conversations. So get ready to have them with me. Thank you, and I'm gonna let the list continue to stroll. Ooh, y'all watch this. Alexa, turn the lights to red. Y'all need to get on there, Philip. Create the perfect ambiance. Is the list still going? I don't know. I'm kind of just sitting here without anything in front of me while I think the list is supposed to be going. In post editing. Appreciate y'all, and we'll do this again later.